Hi everyone. I modeled our German International Santa after my father. I have a picture of him in his Lederhosen, and that's where I got the idea. So let's get started. Let's make our hook, and we're going to roll 2 logs of the beige. This is super sculpey. And then we're going to roll some white, and we're just going to attach it to the legs and roll them so that they stick together. The white part will be his socks. My, what skinny legs Santa has. But you know, sometimes these big guys with the big bellies, they've got skinny legs and no butts. Have you ever noticed that? Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. All right, now we're doing his socks, texturing. And I mixed some black into a little bit of white to get the gray. And we are making gray Lederhosen, which basically means leather pants. My father and my older brother had matching Lederhosen when my brother was little. I have a picture somewhere. Gotta make that Santa belly. Okay, I made his Lederhosen too long. Chop them off. I don't know if that picture's a little fuzzy or if it's my eyes. I've been having a bad day today. I kind of have been losing my balance a lot today. But I have that condition where my blood pressure drops if I stand too long, and I have to be a little more careful. All right, he's going to have a white shirt. And he's very, very easy to do. Now, my grandfather on my mother's side, he he also, now did he wear the lederhosen? No, he didn't wear the lederhosen, but he wore the jacket. My father didn't wear the jacket, but he just wore the lederhosen. And that's the little flap that goes in the front. They're kind of strange pants, aren't they? My parents' house burned down. Well, it didn't burn completely down. One side of it burned completely down, the part where their master bedroom was, and it was about a year and a half after they passed away. And my father's lederhosen were burned. It was very sad. I found bits and pieces of them. And just follow what I'm doing there. My father had a big wood-burning stove in the den, and right behind the stove he had his bookcases, and he must have had 1,000 books. And unfortunately, that stove is what burned the house. And my brother, who was living there, he was lucky to get out. It's my younger brother. The house burned in 2011, and we are in 2020. And I told my brother he could move in with me, until he found a place or fixed the house back up. And he is still living in my house. And now this is the jacket. My grandfather had a jacket like this. My father didn't. So I kind of combined my father and my maternal grandfather. My father's father never wore clothes like this, ever. Not that I ever saw him in. No, I don't know what I'm doing there. But yes, for those of you who don't know, I was born in Germany. My older brother and I were born in Germany. My parents are German. My grandparents are German. We're all German. We go back hundreds of years in Germany. The little village I was born in, gosh, it was founded in I think it was in 700 something. And I'm sure my cousin's going to watch this video. She would know because she still lives there. Three of my cousins actually still live there. But yeah, we're German. Well, I've been here since 1956, and I am an American citizen since 1968. We're not making him a bald Santa. I don't think Santa is bald. I don't. Yeah, some Santas might be. And it's funny, I hardly ever give Santa a neck because we know he's going to have that beard. But I shouldn't make his beard too long because we don't want to cover up the suspenders from the Lederhosen. And I'm texturing his hair with the end of my knitting needle. And if you don't have a knitting needle or several, get yourself some. I don't know, his shoulders kind of look right up there. We need to move that hair down so he doesn't look like his shoulders are up in his cheeks. Yep, see, I knew it was too high. I did this video a few years back, I think in 2018. It's funny, my parents are German, or were German, they're no longer with us. But uh, when it came to drinking beer, sometimes my parents would split a beer for dinner. They each drink half. They really were not beer drinkers. They really didn't drink much alcohol at all. They certainly didn't drink wine. I think beer was about it. And once in a while, they'd split a beer for dinner. I don't drink beer at all. Oh, I can't stand it. But my son makes up for that. He likes beer. So now we have his beard, and we're going to do. I think I could have put a little more beard on. His beard looks a little flat there. So. And texture the mustache before you put it on. It makes it much easier. Now the next video after this will be Santa's little elf helper in his Lederhosen holding trays of nice German cookies. I can't remember what they call this hat. Shows you how good a German I am, but I am much more American than German. But my grandfather had a hat like this, and they put all their little pins and stuff on there. Looks like an elf hat almost, but it's not. Yeah, this was a tough one to get right. So just work with it until you get it the way you want it. And it might help if you just look up these hats. For the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, goodness. There. Oh, Santa looks like he has a bare bottom sticking out of the back. Maybe I should have done a backing sheet of clay on him. Oh, goodness. Sorry, there goes my phone again. I should have a text message from my son. I told him he needs to cut his hair and trim his beard. He said he's going to do it tomorrow. I hope so. That no shave November is over. And we're making kind of a little feather there. I'm sorry, I yawned. I apologize. When I originally did this video, I didn't even have music in it. What was I thinking? Wow. I'm giving him black shoes, and they're just teardrop shapes. And you put the fatter end is where his toes are, and the thinner end is the heel. And we're putting gray soles on his shoes. Now, of course, this isn't really what German Santa looks like. This is just how I am envisioning him when he goes to Oktoberfest. And we have to do the little red and white mushrooms. And I know I've already told you about going through the woods in Germany with my parents and grandparents, and they told my brother and me, of course, we were very, very young, to look for the fairies under the mushrooms. And like I said, we never found them. And that's one of the things I still remember. And I'm like, wow, we really thought there were fairies under the mushrooms. And we're just going to do a little hedgehog. They seem to be popular in Germany. Don't ask me why. I probably looked it up or asked somebody I know. I just, like I said, I haven't been in Germany in a long time. But I could Google it. I know when my cousin watches this, she's going to laugh at me. It's my cousin Crystal. Sorry, I banged my hand on the table. I would think hedgehogs are very British also. Don't they have a lot of hedges and hedgehogs? I think I made his arms too short. You might want to make his arms a little bit longer. Of course, too late now to tell you that. He's going to be holding a mug of beer. And I did this gray. My parents had a lot of German beer mugs and things. And there's a lot of them that are gray like this and have the names of the towns on them, whatever. Just kind of curve his hand around that. And I put a little white clay on top and just textured it, I can't talk, to make it look a little frothy, like a head of beer. And then after it's baked, I'm going to paint something on the mug. I'm making a pretzel. You know, pretzels, uh, they just confound me. I just had a hard time doing them. You really kind of have to practice it. Well, that doesn't look right. I have, I, I know I practiced doing them. Oh, I think I got it. Yep, I got it. And practice doing your pretzel. It took me a long time. I know I practiced for quite a while to get that twist. just right in the middle. I do like those big salty pretzels. And that was eyeshadow I had there, and I just used it to color the pretzel a little bit. You know, the way you want it to look. Doing little gold buttons. I'm having a hard time doing the little gold buttons. Oh my goodness. There we go. Got them. And we're going to put gold cuffs on his sleeves. That always gives it a nice finishing touch when you just put those little details on. And of course, you know what I'm going to say. Blush before you bake. I can't remember, did we put the hook in? Yes, we did. Now I put a lot of blush on his cheeks because maybe he's been drinking too much beer. And of course, bake him according to the package instructions and then paint him